Hi, Alex here from Rebeloper.com, and today I'm going to show you how you can create a revealing splash view. So without further ado, let's get started. About a week ago, well, exactly 1 week ago, I have asked you on Instagram what tutorial would you like to see on my YouTube channel next, and by far the vote was on UIKit elements. So let me just show you here what the outcome was. Yes, it was 62% UIKit and only 38% SpriteKit. So today I am going to show you an interesting UIKit element that is found on GitHub. So let me just minimize this. And of course, if you already haven't followed me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me, instagram.com/Rebeloper, or just find me there, Rebeloper. Okay. Now, what are we going to build out today? Let me just open up my example project here and let us just build and run on our iPhone X simulator, and you will see exactly what we are going to do today, and hopefully you will fall in love with it as I did. So here we are. Here we have our launch screen, and this pulsing thing is our splash screen, and we will present our our app once it has been loaded. Now this is useful when you try to fetch data from servers like from FIREBASE, and till the data is fetched, you don't want to show the user an empty view controller. You just want to wait till the data is fetched and then present it. And before you present it, you want to add some animation to it. Thus comes our revealing splash view to help, and this is another awesome GitHub repository. And it is by Pixel 60, and you can find it here, and we are going to integrate it from scratch through CocoaPods. Okay, now before we begin, one last thing to note. What about the launch screen.storyboard? Well, the launch screen, and this is it, shows up on your user's device when the app is actually loading. So all the background data is fetched and everything is kind of starting up for the app. Now this of course needs to be static. Next up comes our app delegate, and we are basically adding a layer to our window, and that will be our revealing splash view, and that is where this pulsating logo will come in, and it will wait till we fetch our data from our servers. Of course, we will simulate this in our example, but just so you know, this doesn't replace the launch screen.storyboard. Okay, so now it's time to get into some code. So let us just create a new project, and I will create a single view application called next, and let me just copy out this example name because I want to create it with the same name. Okay, so here we are, adding a revealing splash view example. So let's click on next, and I will drop it onto the desktop and create a Git repository on my Mac, because I will upload this to my GitHub repo too. So go ahead and check it out, download it, maybe for the resources that we will add later on. Okay, let's hit create, and here we are. First things first, let's get rid of the storyboard. As usual, let's move it to trash and remove the reference from our info plist file. Okay, next up is that I want to add my assets, and this is where you should go to my GitHub repo. We'll leave the link down below in the description, so you may get these assets for free. And that is here. Yes, here we are. So let me just go through them. We have our dummy YouTube image. So this is the dummy collection view controller. Next up we have our splash view background, because we may add a background. Of course we may add colors too, but we will get that in just a minute. We have our icon, and this is a plain old white icon of our logo. And we have our tab bar item. This is the home, and of course 4 more, 5 in total. 5. Okay, so let me just select all of them and drag them into my project. So here we have our assets. What is up next? Well, let us just create our first view controller. So let's just link it up, because we have deleted our main storyboard. Okay, so inside our app delegates application did finish launching with options. Let's just type in. If you are familiar with my tutorials, then you already know what this is and what I am going to type in here. Make key and visible. Let us create our view controller here, and that is our view controller. And let's add this view controller to our Windows root view controller. Great. And just for testing purposes, let's add our, and now let's select our iPhone 10 simulator here, and let's just build and run. Till it launches, I'm going to show you what are the next steps. So we are going to add this through CocoaPods, and as you can see, it already has been launched. So next step is to close this Xcode project, and let's create an Xcode workspace as usual. Okay, if you don't know how to create CocoaPods and Xcode workspace, go ahead and dig through the archives of my channel, and you will see a lot of examples about CocoaPods and how to install them and create all of them. I'm just go through them here really quick. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more. Okay, so let's open up terminal here. Okay, and type in cd and the space, and let's just drag and drop our root folder of our project, hit return, and let's create our pod file by typing in pod init. Okay, let's wait for that. And now let's open up our pod file with Xcode. So just drag it into the icon, and we are going to use 2 frameworks. First of all, we are going to import LBTA components, and if you don't know what LBTA components, go ahead and check that out in one of my playlists. And we are going to import, of course, revealing splash view. So for that, I would just go ahead and take a look at my cheat sheet here, because adding those pod files can be misleading and you can have typos, so I would just copy out. So here is our revealing splash view pod and LBTA components, and we need to add iOS 11 or higher, because LBTA components requires that. So I will just copy this out and add it into my pod file. Okay, so go ahead and make sure those 2 are typed in correctly. Let's save and close. Now we need to install them. So pod install is our next command. So hit return and wait for the 2 pods to be installed. Now that they are installed, you will see that an Xcode workspace has been automatically created. So we are going to work in this workspace from now on. Okay, let's open up app delegate, and we are where we want us to be. So now we want to present our view controller, and instead of this purple, I will just add a background image view. So let us create it here. Now the image view should contain an image that is the dummy YouTube image that I have just dragged and dropped in. Okay, so let's add our image views. Image equals to, and I just type in YouTube image. That is correct. And let's set our image view content mode. And that should be really good. Doesn't really matter. Next up, we are going to add our view here. So let's create a new function. Let's add this here. Setup views. And inside setup views, let me just give you some space here. Inside setup views, we are going to add this background view to our view. So add subview background. And we are going to anchor it with the help of LBTA components. So first up, let's import it, LBTA components, and better yet, let's hit Command B so Xcode may realize that we have some pods, LBTA components, there it is. And now we can access a background and fill super view, and that will fill up our view controllers view. So let's build and run and see. Let's select our iPhone X simulator and see if this actually worked. Next up, we are going to add our revealing splash view. Great, we have our background set up. Okay, now we need to add our splash view. So let's import and revealing splash view is the module. Great. And next up, we need to create our revealing splash view. So and let's construct it like so, revealing splash view. And I will use this one. There are two types of constructors, one with the background color and one with the background image. First of all, let's take a look at the one with the background color. So the icon image should be our revealing splash view icon, and the icon size, let's say CG size, and with a width of 123 and the height again with 123, and the background color, I will just copy this bluish background color from my example code here and paste it in there. Now, next up is to present this revealing splash view. So next up, we are going to add the revealing splash view, and it is pretty simple. All we need to do is add it to our view. So a view dot add subview, and revealing splash view is what we want to add, and of course we want to start it. So revealing splash view dot, and we want to select if it is start animation. So let's check it out, and this should work right off the bat. That's it, 3 lines basically. There you have it, a revealing splash view. So let's dive even deeper into this. So one thing that you will notice when you just dig into that GitHub repository's README file is that there are many more types of animations. So let us just create some more animations. So revealing splash view, animation type, and let's just type in here dot, and we have heartbeat, pop and zoom out, rotate out, squeeze and zoom out, swing and zoom out, Twitter, wobble and zoom out. Now the default type is Twitter, and the heartbeat is a little bit tricky, and it requires this server thing. So when you fetch from server, you want to use this heartbeat animation type. So let us just swing and zoom out. Go ahead and check all of them out if you want to. I will just show you this one. Just wait for it. There we go, and it animated out. Pretty great. Now I will just comment this out for now because I want to show you another awesome feature, and that is this revealing splash view can be added to navigation controllers and into tab bar controllers too. So for that we are going to create a tab bar controller, and we are going to, because it's the same, navigation controllers, tab bar controllers, it's the same, and then we are going to add this heartbeat animation type into our tab bar controller. So first up, let's create a new file. It will be just simply, let's import here UIKit, and maybe let's import LBTA components because, well, I don't know, maybe we need it, maybe we don't. First of all, let's create our class, and it will be named tab bar controller, and the superclass is our UI tab bar controller. Next up, we need our view did load, of course, and let's type in super view did load here, and we want to add our, well, a tab bar controller has its view controllers, so we want to construct that here. So let's add a function here. Now, before we even start to set up our tab bar view controllers, we might want to set up our views background color, let's say to .white, because it's basically black on the first, so we won't notice anything. And then we might want to set up our tab bar. So tab bar dot, and here we have our bar tint color, and that will be let me just grab our UI color here, and it is white. Well, it's a black with an alpha value. Okay, and next up is to set our translucency. Okay, so bar tint color equals to that, and now we want to set our tab bar's translucency to false. So tab bar is translucent equals to false, and this will give us that cool blackish tab bar that we are used to in the YouTube app, if you are in dark mode, of course. Let us just build and run and see if well, actually something happens. Well, not, because we need to add and change our view controllers. So I will just comment that out and let vc equals, and that is our tab bar controller. And let's see if we get to see something at all. And we do get this blackish tab bar controller, tab bar. Okay, now let's go to back to our tab bar controller and set up our tab bar view controllers. And that is pretty simple, because we need to create our first view controller, and that will be a simple UI view controller, that is dummy view controller. Next up, we need to set up our tab bar items image. So type in vc1 tab bar item image, and that is our first image, and I believe it is called tab bar item 1, and we want it with a rendering mode of always original, because I want to keep use the original image, of course. Now let's add this view controller to our tab bars view controllers. Okay, equals, and this is an array, so we add here VC1. Let's build and run again and see this one tab bar item on our tab bar. Okay, here it is. Great. Now next we want to add all of those other 4, so I just copy this here and paste it 4 more times. Okay, and of course I want to change the image, and that is our tab bar item 2. And now you know how you can create a simple tab bar with custom item image name images. Okay, let's build and run and see how this looks. We need to set these images to the second view controller, third, fourth and fifth view controller. I am pretty sure that many of you have already noticed this typo. Okay, let's build and run and see all of it in action. Okay, now I want to add a new view controller to this first one, and we will call it, let us just create a new file here, a home view controller. And I will just copy some parts of this already created view controller. I will just copy, well, first of all, everything. And let's add it inside here. And let's change this to home view controller. We will have our background. We will cut our revealing splash view, because now we want to add it on our tab bar. And of course these two and these. Okay, so we are set up, and now we can change this to our home view controller and run it again. And I believe we are ready to add our, yep, that is it. And if we change it, yep, we are good to go. Of course, maybe you want to change this image not to cover all of this up. That is just a matter of detail. Okay, next up we want to add our splash view to our tab bar controller, and we will do that in our app delegate. So go ahead and create another splash view controller here in app delegate. So let splash view. Maybe I just will copy this out so we are really quick on this. So I will just copy here and add it inside our app delegate. So here we have our revealing splash view. Of course, we need to import first of all our revealing splash view module. Okay, and next up we want to, well, first of all, we want to set our revealing splash views animation type, and let's say I would choose this heartbeat, and then we want to add it to our windows. So add a layer, I believe at subview, and revealing splash view it is. So let us just build and run and see what happens now. Okay, this is the splash view. Oh, we didn't start. So revealing splash view, start animation. And now we go through that launch screen. There you go, and it is beating like a heart, but it doesn't really disappear. Now what we want to do is, let's say, simulate 5 seconds till we fetch our data from the server, and then we want to well, kill this animation with a heart stroke. And this is pretty funny because it actually, the call is called heart stroke. So let us just stop this, and inside our home view controller, where we will actually fetch our data from our servers, we will create a timer here. So timer, and we will schedule this timer, and I will check this one, I believe, with the block. Okay, and the time interval 5 seconds is okay. Repeats false. And inside our completion handler timer it is, and here we want to send a notification. So but for that we want to add an observer and of course create a notification name. So let's create that notification name first. Let's go back to app delegate, and inside here let's us well, rather yet outside of our class, let heart attack, and I will just call this a raw value, and let's say heart attack. Okay, and that is our notification name. Now we need to add our observers here. So notification center default, add observer, and I will choose this one, and observer is our self. So self here, selector, bound selector, and let's just name this handle heart attack. Okay, the notification name is our heart attack notification name, and our object is nil. And let us just create our handle heart attack down here, and it will be an Objective-C function. So at Objective-C func heart attack, and we will come back to this heart attack function later on. Now we need to post this notification inside our home view controller when we are sending our notification here. So notification center default post, and post notification with our name, and that is heart, I believe it. Let's just build and run and see if we do get our completion here. Heart attack notification name, and the object is nil. So this is how we just send that the server has fetched all of our data. Okay, let's go back and handle the heart attack, and that is pretty simple. Revealing splash view dot heart attack equals true. Okay, and that is all you need to do. Now let us just build and run and see this on the simulator. And after 5 seconds we should get the revealing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are off. Okay, now two things are left. One is pretty easy because we want to add our background image instead of our background color. So I just comment this out and construct it again. Let and revealing splash view equals revealing splash view, and I will choose now with the background image, icon image, revealing splash view icon, icon size, CG size. I just copy this out from here, and now we are adding our background image, and that is our revealing splash view background, and that is kind of blue, but it has a little gradient on it. So let's build and run again and see that nice gradient. Of course, if you wish to add color, that is great. So you see the lower end of my screen is a little bit darker than the top of it. Okay, now when you start off, the launch screen is added. So this is a white screen. I want to add well, the static form of our splash view, and for that we are going to drag into image views here. The first one is for the background. Okay, and let's anchor this 0, 0, 0 for all sides, and for the image it will be our revealing splash view background image. And next up we want to add another image view to the center, and the width will be 123 and 123. If you can recall, we added 123 to the height and width of our revealing splash views icon, so we want to be consistent with that, and we just drag it right into the center and then anchor it. First of all, let's set the width and height to be anchored to 123, and next up we want to center it horizontally and vertically into the container. And of course we select our image here. And we are done. We are going to set this in motion one last time, and that is it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. There it is. And if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And let me know, what do you think of this revealing splash view? Which is your favorite animation type? Mine is of course the heartbeat. But if you prefer the other ones, go ahead and comment down below this video. And as usual, I will see you in the next one.